All right, so now we are going to look into the create operation in Laravel, and I will let you know how to optimize your query and the number of lines you write for the CRUD or you write for the create query. So this is an form I have created. So the title, description, the place of the event, and the date on which the event is going to be held. So let me switch over to the okay. So this is just a create view I have written in the controller, in my event controller, and I have created the two routes for the create and the store operation. So let me get back to the browser. I will write the title of the event, description of the event, place of the event, and let me just get a dummy date and let me submit it. So look into this. I am receiving the token, the title of the event, description of the event, place of the event, and the date. So how do I save it in my database through using the model element operation? So I have drum and die over here using dd to put everything on the screen. So let me just store it for a moment. So model equals to event, or it would be like a class. I can do that, and new. So here I need to specify model title equals to request title, model description equals to request description, model place equals to request place, and model date equals to request date, and in the end I need to save it. And let me return the model which is just created. So I will remove this line, save it, go back to the browser. I will go back, refresh the page. So there is a kind of syntax error, expecting variable dollar. So let me check where I have new event. So this could be a kind of this, and let me get back, save. Okay, so we have a title over here, and I have put all of the data, and let's resubmit the page. Okay, so it's just created the model for me, date, place, and title, everything works totally fine. So now let's put some validation on this. Request validate, and this should be an array. Okay, typo. Okay, so here the title should be required, description should be required, date should be required, and place should also be required. You can write down any kind of validation over here. It totally depends on your scenario and situation. but at the moment I will stick with the basic validation. So let's just get back, refresh, and now let me just quickly remove this and hit the submit button. It just redirected me back without any error. So I will go to I have just copied and pasted the validation code over here. So now let's get back to the browser, and if I now submit, write something here, title of the event, and let's submit this one, I can see the errors now which are required. So let's go with it one more time. And let me select any of the date in the future and let's submit it. So it's working very well. Now let me refactor my code to a little bit shorter. So instead of doing this, I can create a form request, or I can easily okay, so now let's change this code to a little bit shorter. So I will do create a variable model dash event create request all, and let me just comment this out. Back to the browser, back, refresh. This should be 2, this should be 2, and this should be 2. Submit. I got an error, so token to fillable. Back to the code, open my model. Here I need to create a protected variable that is guarded equals to id, or if I go for the fillable, so I need to give all of the column names over here. So that would be title, description, place, and date. This is how it's going to work. So if I have few columns, I can go with this one, but if I have a lot of columns, then I need to just guarded those which are which needs to be guarded, and the rest of all of the columns will be automatically fillable. Back to the browser, refresh, resubmit. Record has been created. Back to the code. Now it's much cleaner and easily understandable. Now I can remove this code. The other way to get it done with this in a much more cleaner way is to use the form request. There is a built-in Laravel feature that you can easily um, copy all of your validations and the other attributes to the form request, and that would be automatically done by the Laravel and will return the array of all validated fields. I have opened my terminal. Now write a command php artisan make request and name of the request. So in my case it would be event store request, and hit enter. So it has been successfully created. Under app http request folder, open it, and first you need to give the authorization permission through the return true, If this is not true, this form request would not work. So we have to pass the condition or the true in the return. So in order to make it work. Now I need to copy all of my validation rules over here as stated above in the command, that all of the validation rules should be stated here. And now let me cut all of the validation rules from here into the rules return array, paste it over here, save, back to the controller. Now I can get rid of the request validated line, and let me just backspace, and instead of using request, now I need to use the request which I have just recently created, the event store request, and I need to include this in my controller. I will go to the top and will write use app http requests. This is the directory and event store request. Save and back to the browser. Click back. I will refresh my page. Okay, now let me just remove few of the required fields in order to get the errors, required errors. I will submit it now, and whoa, I got the errors. And now back to the browser, the code, and here you can see it's much cleaner and much easier way. But instead of using request all, I need to use the request other property or other method, that is request validated, which will return only those fields values which has been validated. So these would be all true values. Now let me save, back to the browser, and I will create a new title, this time with the 3. Description should also go with the 3, and event of the place should be also the 3, and I will choose a date, any date I can choose, submit, and yeah, I can easily see the output which is just created. So this is how we play with the request and creation of the record. You can return whatever you want instead of model, like any message with the success. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions. So that's it for today, and happy coding.